Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of Completionist Progress. So, in the last episode I mentioned how I wanted to work on Raids 3 this episode, and now it's only a few days away. But between episodes, I have been preparing a few things. The first is I did go ahead and finish all the quests but a night at the theater, which I'm saving for later. Aside from that, I have been working on balsing, mainly doing that Cerberus task I had, and in the process I managed to get myself an elite clue, and I got the one step I didn't have, so I went ahead and built this stash unit here, and got myself a straw hat from Tight Farm, so I can store this stuff in here, and I was able to do that step and get a Sherlock step now, so I'll go see if I can finish up this clue in a second. But yeah, I also do need now to get another Shazian body and Pyromancer robe and eventually finish the farmer's outfit, but no, Tithe Farm's not high on my list. So yeah, but for now I think I'm going to work on this clue and see if I can get back to the Cerberus task and hopefully snag some good drops there, or at least fill up more of the log slots. So Raids 3 has now released, or to be a little more accurate, it released like 3 or so weeks ago now. Yeah, I did a bunch of raids during the first week and just didn't have much to record, and then I got busy over the following weeks, and yeah, I haven't done that much raiding since, but I have been enjoying the content and definitely want to work on more raids. So we check the scoreboard over here. I can show you where I'm at. So I did like 13 entry modes during the first week, and then I went up to normal modes, and I am at a respectable 17 completions. Like I said, just haven't had a ton of time to keep doing a bunch more raids and just got a little busy recently, but definitely want to work more on it. As for experts, I haven't even tried yet because, yeah, I think I'll be sticking to normals for the time being. But I did get a couple things so far from the raid, including this. So I just cleared my 7th normal mode Tombs of a Mascot, and I just got my first purple. What's it gonna be? Oh. Well, it's at least a unique. It's only like 50 mil right now, but hey, a new item for the collection log and a decent split. So yeah, I actually pulled a purple, and I have to say, it was a really awesome feeling to see that chest and just be thinking, oh my god, this could be a 2 billion staff. It wasn't, it was a 50 mil ring, but still, it's a really awesome feeling, and it makes me want to do more raids and see more purples in the future. And yeah, so we check out the collection log. I got the ring, I did pull the thread, so I've been able to upgrade my rune pouch, just store an extra rune, which actually makes the Kodai far less useful now. And also got the Cache of Runes. No luck on the jewels yet, so hopefully I can pull them in future raids. But I don't know, I really want to keep doing raids. I want to work on getting these shrouds because at least getting to the 100 raids and such seems pretty doable because I'm enjoying the raids so far. And even if I don't have teams, it's pretty easy to solo. And speaking of which, I actually do want to set the goal for myself of trying to solo a purple. It's pretty rare from the numbers I've been hearing. We don't have the official drop rate yet, so I don't know how spooned I was on getting a purple in my name at this kill count. But I don't know, I'll probably be doing a mix of like solos, duos, and trios, and hopefully can pull some more purples in the name, but just soloing a purple, even if it's a crappy purple, is, yeah, a personal goal I want to go for. Aside from that, prices have been all over the place since the raid dropped, and a couple things I need to note. The first is after pulling the ring, I saw that the Ward of Elderness dropped down to 36 mil, and even without upgrading of the Arcane, it gets 3% magic damage. So I was thinking, wow, this seems like a steal. There's no way this item drops lower. So I bought one, and now it dropped to 20 mil. I'm not very good with investments, yet despite that, late the other night, I decided to make another investment. So, in the raid, you pretty much want a stab weapon, which is why everyone has these little pointy fangs here. And I would love to get a Fang soon, but I only really had the Blade of Seldor. I haven't had the Rapier for years. And I noticed that the Blade of Seldor was around 200 mil. And since the update, the Inquisitor's Mace dropped to around 200 mil. So after a bunch of hemming and hawing, I decided to uncorrupt my Blade of Seldor, and I bought an Inquisitor's Mace. I sold the blade for like 188 mil. I got this for, I think it was like 231 mil. I was doing this just as it was starting to spike back up in price. But at the moment, it seems like it actually wasn't a terrible decision, because the Mace I think is around 250 mil right now. It's probably going to crash back down. But still. And overall, it just seems like the Mace is the more useful item to have, at least when they're so close in price. Because the Mace does give 2 prayer bonus, making it better than the Blade and the Rapier for just general use when style weakness isn't a factor. And I can think of more things that are weak to Crush than I can that are weak to Slash. And like the only place I really would want Slash specifically is like for Theater of Blood. And at worst, I can always use an Abyssal Tentacle if I can't get back a Blade or something else like that. So, I don't know. And the other reason is I still have all that Cerberus to do. And not only is the mace better than Arclight, it means I don't have to waste Arclight charges there. So, I don't know. Hopefully I won't regret this. I can always easily sell this back on like the Blade where I lost a significant amount of, the crystal shards to uncorrupt it. But, I don't know. Hopefully I won't regret this. And hopefully it will just keep staying up in price and make it a wise investment for once. Well, that took quite a while, but I finally finished that Cerberus task and the stored Cerberus task, and I'm now well over 1,000 kill count. So yeah, there's definitely a few things to update on. The first is the mace here. I have to say, it really wasn't that much better than Arclight at Cerberus, at least that I saw. The kill speed seemed roughly the same, the kills per trip seemed roughly the same. So, I don't know, it wasn't that big of an upgrade, but it still was nice to save on the Arclight charges, and there's definitely other places I want to use it. That said, it did drop back down to the price I paid, and might be going lower, so yay. But good news is, I got really lucky at Cerberus. So before this task, I had like 700 some kills, and I had only Smoldering Stones and Primordials, which, is good if you want profit, but not good for a collection log. After this task, however, yeah, I pretty much have a completed Cerberus log. So I think the first drop I got was either another Smoldering Stone or the Jar of Souls, which I'm glad to see the jar because that's the one in 2000. I'm not even at the KC for that yet. But then it wasn't until kill 916 I finally got an Eternal Crystal. But then 5 kills later, at kill 921, I got a second Eternal. Then at 955, I got the Pegasian, finishing off the crystal set. And then, just to make it even better, at 991, I got another Primordial. And then at 1,048, I got a second Pegasian. So, just in the span of like 100 kills, I got like all these crystals. Well, the second Pegasian was after the 100 kills, but still, it was a very insane 100 kills, because that was like near the end of the first task, and I just went from like not having any of the crystals to having all the crystals. And there's also a decent bit of profit here, because I mean, the Eternals aren't worth that much, the Pegasians are worth like nothing, but that's still like 30 mil, which is not bad, especially since I just sunk most of my money into getting this mace. So yeah, but now my task is a Dark Beast, so I'll probably be back to just the normal, more casual AFK kind of Slayer as I just grind experience. So I haven't done this in quite a long time, but yeah, it's time to imbue a ring. So I just never got the Ring of the Gods just because it hasn't been a big priority and it used to cost a lot more. It's like 16 mil right now, but I currently got a Dust Devil task, and when I'm checking what gear to bring, the Ring of the Gods is best in slot, so I thought might as well just buy it now. So I came here, got some Nightmare Zone points, and ta-da, there is the imbued Ring of the Gods, which I believe is the last imbued ring for that whole collectionist part on the completionist list. So yeah, I finally have all the imbued rings, and well, unless I ever decide to uncharge them and get the imbue scrolls from the PvP arena, because those do seem a little nicer. You can like freely swap between the rings instead of losing points if you want to unimbue. But I don't know, probably I'll just keep all my Nightmare Zone imbued ones, and yeah, now to get back to Slayer with that Dust Devil task. Several months later. So that last clip where I imbued the ring was back at the end of September, and it's currently the end of January, so it's been a bit since I've recorded on here. I did play a bit, but I also just kind of got a little busy with stuff and was focusing more on the Ultimate Iron Man for the end of last year. So yeah, but some stuff's come out, and I felt like it was time to do a bit of an update here. So the first thing is, in one of the previous clips I mentioned I got the Inquisitor Mace. Well, that actually went back up in price after I got it, and it seems it's largely stayed back up in price. So that's one of the few times I made an investment and it didn't immediately backfire. Speaking of investments that immediately backfired, so when they nerfed the Fang a while back, I ended up buying it for like 100 mil, 80 mil. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I sold, I think it was my Nightmare Staff and my Crossbow and some stuff like that, just because I didn't plan on using them anytime soon, and I felt the Fang would be more useful. And I don't think I've used the Fang since at all. But I do have the Fang. It has dropped a bit in price. But the good news is the Wielded Boss update just came out recently, and the Revenant weapons have also went down in price. So I think I technically profited off selling the Crossbow when I did. I don't know. It's still weapons I need to save up money and get back, though. But the main reason I wanted to record this clip, well, I want to go ahead and do some of these new quests that came out, mainly Secrets of the North. I've been really waiting to do this for a few weeks now, and yeah, I felt it might be odd just cutting to the end of that. But also, I haven't done this in a while. I think I missed it last year, but I like to go over my boss counters just to show what I've done over the past year. I think I did reset them, but I don't think it ended up in a video because I just haven't uploaded this series very frequently over the past while. So, yeah, but if you look at my stats, I don't think there has changed too much in the past year. I don't even remember what 99s I got in the past year, of any. I don't know, but it's just Slayer and Hunter left. So, gonna continue to work at that. Hopefully we'll max by the end of the year, who knows. And aside from that, if we look at the logs here, I might have killed some Abyssal Demons this year, but aside from that, this should all be the previous year. A lot of cockatrice. And, yeah, so that's what my, Slayer log was looking like, and we just look over the boss log real quick. Definitely a lot of Cerberus. I think I currently have a Cerberus test too. Not that many giant mole, and a lot of KBD. Still need to work on that pet, and all of the Thermi kills aside from the diary one was this year. So yeah, and of course, Star Tombs of Mask. I never really did too much after I've recorded those clips anyway. It's been something I've been meaning to get back to, but like I said, I just kind of got busy with stuff over the fall and just didn't get to play much on here. So yeah, but I'll reset all these logs now, so hopefully at the end of 2023 I can look back and see what's changed there. But yeah, anyway, now I'm going to go and work on some of these quests here. So a few things to update on. First is I completed those quests, and yeah, they were really good. I'm especially excited to see Desert Treasure 2 after doing Secrets from the North, and also a Garden of Death. That was a really weird one, but really fun. But yeah, I completed the quest, and I also have been working on the Phantom Musfa a bit, or at least trying to get the hang of it. I only got like 29 kills. I did manage to get a charged dice for getting the under 3-minute kill time, but aside from that, no other uniques. I would like to try and go for the Ancient Icon at least though, because it's untradeable, and I currently don't have any auto-cast staff that has a damage bonus since I sold my Nightmare staff, I think, for the Fang. And I also would like to see if I can stack up enough essence to upgrade my Imbued Heart, or I can just buy it later. We'll see, but that's something else I need to work on. But I currently don't have an Armadillo crossbow or anything, so it's a little hard to get the bolt procs at the end, or it would definitely be nice to get one of those. Also, something else I had in my note that I don't know if I showed on video yet is I did get an occult from Thermi. I got up to 3 of them now just from doing Slayer. I don't think I mentioned it on a video, so just wanted to mention that now. And I was working a bit more on Slayer, and I went back to Cerberus, and, or I got another Cerberus task, I should say, and, Cerberus really likes me. It's kind of funny because I was thinking like, man, I'm out of money and, you know, I really want to get back some like a Crawls bow or the new Venerator bow and still don't have a Light Bearer and I'd really like to get all these drops. And then I go to Cerb and I get 2 more Primordials and a Pegasian. So, yeah, I'm going to probably sell those and buy some upgrades and to mention later. And one other thing, I don't know if I even did any of the post-Shattered Relic stuff on this series. I can't remember now. But I spent my points and I got this teleport scroll. Because if you look here at the animations, yeah, I don't have Speedy from the quest speedrunning stuff, which I still need to do. And I never unlocked it. But I had the scroll just sitting in my bank for a while now. So, yeah, this is one of the things for the completionist list. And there we go. Now it's unlocked. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I might just keep working at Slayer for a bit now, though, or just some other stuff like that as I kind of ease back into things. So one other thing that has happened during my hiatus from this account was they buffed the experience you got from a lot of quests, and you can claim it from a few different NPCs, but the main one has most of them is Purdue here. So if I talk to Purdue, I can claim all this experience. So, yeah, and if I claim this, that's a lot of experience drops. And there is also 98 Hunter and 98 Slayer. So, yeah, I don't know, I thought that would be a neat way to get those levels since I was getting close to them. Now, just a lot of experience to go for my last 2 99s. Well, it has taken quite a while, but it finally happened. I finally got a Kraken Task, which means I am now ready to at least finish most of the hard, combat achievements here. So if you look at the ones I'm missing, the majority of them are these 2 Kraken tasks, and one needs 25 kills, and there was also, I think, a master one to do 100 kills in one instance without leaving, so I'm going to try and do that at least, but I should have no problem at least knocking these 2 out, and then I just need to go kill Nightmare and go do entry mode, Theater of Blood, which hopefully won't be too hard, though I might need to find a team for Nightmare or figure out to solo it. Anyway, but I'm really hoping now that I got the Kraken Task, I can finish up the hard diaries. Also, they did update the diaries, and actually, it's over here in rewards. How to reclaim the medium one, because they had some new stuff. So, yeah, but that's all pretty cool. Aside from that, well, one, you might notice I have a Sang Staff. I actually am borrowing this off a friend just for this Kraken Task, because, I really want to be sure that I do not run out of heals or stuff during this task and, can't get the 100 kills, so I'm probably going a little overkill. Speaking of overkill, I also decided to get the Ancient Essence and just make the Saturated Heart, because this will be a huge boost in the task, both to my defenses and to my offenses, and it's just so much better than the normal heart. It lets you perma boost like 13 magic levels, while they'll normally decay with the other heart and not be nearly as much. And I did end up buying a Venator bow and a Lightbearer ring, and spent most of my other money on just restocking supplies. I ended up having to actually sell part of my Justice Jar just so I could get the Saturated Heart for this task. But yeah, I don't know, it shouldn't be that eventful, it's just Kraken. But hopefully I can check in a bit and have those 2 combat tasks done. And there's the Kraken Slayer task completed. I might have over-prepared just the tad. I brought an inventory of manta rays just to make sure I had enough healing, and I also brought blood spells, and I ended up not really using them at all. The staff mainly healed me enough, and I also had way too many charges in here. I had like 9,000, and I used a fair bit, but yeah, definitely over-prepared. But I guess it was kind of a good thing, though, because midway into the task, my computer froze, meaning I had to reset my computer, and lost the first instance, but thankfully I still had 120 kills on the task, so I was able to complete all the Kraken combat achievements. So we go here to bosses, and down here to Kraken. It is now all completed. So yeah, once I get the pet, I'll never need to come back here again, but I'll probably still do the task for the pet for the time being. Well, I decided to take a break from Slayer and actually felt like doing some Winter Todd, because I not only need spare Pyromancer legs, because mine are in this stash unit over here, but I also just need the Tome of Fire again to finish the collection log here. So I got a good bit of crates stacked up. I was around 250 KC, so this is around 40 some crates. So let's just open them real quick and see if I can get the legs or the tome. Oh, well, that didn't take very long at all. So I did check on the wiki, and it does say when it's stashed, it counts as not owning the legs. But there we go, full Pyromancer. It figures I get it on the first few crates, but hey, maybe I can still get a tome and finish off the log. Okay, well, that's it for the crates. At least I got the spare pyro legs, so yeah, now I had the full set again, plus the stash unit, and I did get the spare Shashin body at some point. So yeah, I still will need to go back to Winter Todd sometime in the future, though, to get more crates to try and get the tome, just to get a green log here. But I think I'm going to be done with Winter Todd for now. I've been working a bit at the Phantom Musfa, and I finally managed to get myself an Ancient Icon. I don't know why this isn't a guaranteed drop at 50 KC like the Vorkath had, but yeah, at 61 kill count, I finally got my first one. Ideally, I would like to probably get 4 of these, just so I can have one of each Ancient Scepter, because they're coming out with the 4 gems to have the different versions for each Ancient Element. But one's at least good enough for now, because as I said before, yeah, I still only have a Master Wand I got for bursting Slayer tasks, and I don't have anything with magic damage, so this will be a pretty nice upgrade. Aside from that, though, Phantom Musfa log here. Can't say I'm that interested in grinding a bunch more. Funny how I also never got a Frozen Cache, because I think that's 1 in 25. But I don't know, I might do it some more. It would be nice to get a bit better of a hang of it, or I'm just finally starting to get my footing, I think, by bringing Mage, but I'm on Thralls instead of Freezes and just kite the boss, because I find it's a lot easier. But, I don't know. Still a boss I'm just starting to get the hang of, but at least I finally got the Ancient Icon, so I can use that for Slayer. So I spent a while grinding some more Slayer, and I managed to check off a couple more items in the collection log. The first is from a Thermi task, I got the Smoke Battle Staff, and the other one that I'm really happy to finally have is I finally got a Dark Bow. This should not have been as hard to get as it was, but I went over 1,000 KC at Dark Beast before getting my first Dark Bow drop. So, glad to finally have that one done so I can stop having Dark Beast extended and, just have them as a very quick task now. But as you might notice from where I'm at, yeah, I'm back at Tombstone Masket, and it's been a while. I know it was earlier in this episode where Tombs of Massacre came out and I did the first raids, but that was over 5 months ago now because I just been spending a while making this video. So yeah, but I've been getting back into practice with doing TOA. I'm up to 23 completions now, and I even managed to get an expert completion. I ended up doing an 8-man with one of my friends on his Maxim party, and we actually got a Fang, which split for 6 mil. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And with that money, I actually have been able to rebuy some of the, if we just go here, also been working on reorganizing my bank, but I did manage to get back the chain mace and the crossbow. So yeah. But now what I want to do, as you can probably tell by this key in my inventory, also I have tile markers on because it's helpful for Tombs of Massacre to make sure I know where I'm actually standing. But yeah, this ancient key. So it's like a mini quest of sorts. You have to get the items from the demi-bosses in raids and go around, use them in places, then you get this key. And if you bring it to the end of the raid, you can get the Mask of Rebirth. So now I'm going to see if I can clear another Tombs of Massacre to get the mask and hopefully maybe a purple as well. Despite being down 1 inventory slot, that raid went phenomenally well. So I think this is the first time I might have ever done a raid without using a single dose of ambrosia. And I even managed to get 2 down wardens for that combat achievement. And I think this Tomb Looter one, actually, let me check what it is real quick. Tomb Looter. So yeah, 25 between normal and expert because I had the 1 expert there. But yeah, I was in such a hurry or just so overjoyed with how well that raid went, I almost left without using the key, which would have been bad. But I'm pretty sure if I just use it here, insert the key into the hole. I'm not sure if it takes the key or how that works. I might need to use the key again, but if you open this, you get the Mask of Rebirth. And if I destroy it, I'm pretty sure it just comes back from this chest. So yeah, and if I destroy the key, I get it back from Cam the Camel. So if I just head out here, oh no, I'm not sure which part of this is actually the completionist task. Can I destroy this? I can't get back through, so I'd have to get that from the camel again. But yeah, so I got the Mask of Rebirth to just shove in my costume room and probably never use. Well, can't say I was expecting to record a clip right now. I was just doing some late night farm runs to try and get the farming pet. You know, some trees and stuff I've been working at, and I finally managed to pull the bottomless compost bucket off of Spory. I got at 53 kill count, and it's a 1 in 35 drop, so I've been a little dry on it, and I also do believe that, yeah, this makes the collection log green now, so I now have completed 2 boss logs, the mole and his Spory. So nice to finally have this out of the way for the sake of the log. That said, I probably still will keep doing his Spory to try and get the farming pet, because, I don't know, I really like to get the pet, but I also don't want to go super dry on it if I can. But, I don't know, I'll have to see how the pet RNG goes. So recently I got back into killing KBD and working towards that pet here, and, well, I've been AFKing it probably a little too much because I've missed it, but there is 4,500 kill count that trip, which is notable because the pet is 1 in 3,000, and yeah, now I'm 1.5 times the drop rate. But I don't know, it's a pretty chill boss to kill. It's been kind of fun just to do this in the background. So, I don't know, hopefully I'll get the pet soon, and if not, I'll have another KC milestone sometime in the future. Well, I've continued to poke some KBD here while I need something semi-AFK, and I just got a Draconic Visage drop on 4,710 KC. I think this is like the 2nd Visage I got from KBD. I don't know, I forget where I got all the Visages from, but hey, it's at least a 4 or 3 mil drop, so decent value to it. Before I end off the episode, there's one other big thing I want to go for, and that is the hard combat tasks. So if you look here, I completed a few more tasks because they added some for the Phantom Musfa, which I'll have to work on later. But if I go here to incomplete, I'm still just missing the last 2 tasks, a Nightmare Kill and Entry Mode Theater of Blood. Now they just came out with the changes alongside the Musfa combat achievements that made entry mode a little more friendly and not as punishing, so that should hopefully be nice. But yeah, first thing I want to do is see if I can get a Nightmare Kill in the Mass World. I'll probably have to look up a guide, and hopefully it goes well, but I asked some friends how to get into Nightmare, and they said that's probably the best way to get my first kill count. And also just to look at Musfa real quick. Yeah, here it is. Haven't actually looked over all the combat achievements yet. But if we just look at incomplete, there's some I probably can do without running. Definitely something within my skill set. The 3 prayer drain also probably easy enough. Just like smite, the bolts, and ancient mace. So I don't know. I'll probably look into doing some of these. might be able to even get under 3 minutes if I get a good kill. I don't know, I haven't planned to go back to Musfa anytime immediately soon, but it is something I would like to try working on some of these combat achievements in the future. But for right now, I want to focus on the Nightmare and the entry mode Theater of Blood. After dying on my first attempt, I did manage to kill the Nightmare on my second attempt on the Mass World, so there's the Nightmare Adept combat task completed, and I don't know, it's definitely a boss I probably will be interested to try more in the future. It does seem kind of fun, but I get how it's going to get very tedious to do hundreds and hundreds of kills of it. But I don't know, I definitely think Fasani's Nightmare is something I will try in the future, especially now that I have this mace here. That leaves one combat task left for the hard tier, and it is the entry mode Theater of Blood, which is also what I need to complete the last quest I have, A Night at a Theater. So yeah, let me look up how to do this or figure out what gear I want to bring and see how easy it is to clear an entry mode. Well, that wasn't so bad. There is one Theater of Blood entry mode KC and all the hard tier combat achievements completed. Now I just need to... almost forgot I need to also get this book, because I think these might still be the last books I need for all the books in the player-owned house. I don't know, I'll check later. But yeah, now I just need to go hand in the quest and then go claim the combat achievements. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but I also got another collection log slot because I got some vials of blood. So yeah, I guess that's a nice little bonus for this as well. I will have to be back to entry mode to complete some of the other combat achievements though. I think I got like 1 or 2, but you know, there's a lot of them I missed just because I wasn't trying. But yeah, definitely need to practice more Theater of Blood in the future. Well, it took me long enough, but there is A Night at the Theater completed. Now I can finally use my quest cape again, though I'm not sure what I'll be using these ancient lamps on. They only work on combat. I don't know, I guess probably magic. Another quick update from that Theater of Blood run, but I came back to check the books here, and I have pretty much all of them, but there were a couple on this page. I think these came from stuff I think I already have. I just need to go recollect them. But yeah, pretty much all the books now. So now that I have all of the hard combat achievements completed, I can talk to Gamel here, and he will give me the rewards. Yeah, there it is. Complete a tier of the combat achievements. And there we go. So we got an Experience Lamp, the new tier of Hilt, which I'll have to claim more. I think this has the unlimited teleports to God Wars Dungeon. And just to look over the other rewards, there we are, rewards, because they did expand them. A bunch of God Wars Dungeon stuff like the instances, the EQ key chances increase, more Slayer tasks for more bosses on the boss Slayer task, more hard clue rates, or a better hard clue rate. Cheaper imbues. I did remember to unimbue my items first, so now I can re-imbue them and get some bonus points back. And more cannonballs in the Dwarf Cannon. Oh, and also more pest points from Pest Control, which will be nice if I ever want to get those other sets for the player-owned house. But the most important thing is, I can now make the KBD crossbow, or the Dragon Hunter KBD crossbow. Whatever you want to call it. I think it looks better than the original. So I got out my Dragon Hunter crossbow and, really, they're gonna move there right now. But this is what the original one looks like. There it is. That's what the original Dragon Hunter crossbow looks like. And I think I just actually used the heads on it. And, yep, there's the KBD crossbow, or the KBD recolor, which I think looks really good, especially with Elite Void, which is the main time I end up using the crossbow. So, yeah, really happy to finally have this item. Honestly, it's probably the thing I wanted most out of all the combat achievements. As for this lamp, though, not a lot of options left. It's either going to be Slayer or Hunter, but I think I'm going to put it on Hunter. So, yeah, only one to go now. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap up this episode, so hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.